What's going on? What's going on? Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC. I said Hall of Fame already. Oh, man. I've always tried to answer most messages with a video the best way I can. And this one, I try to stay away from controversial topics outside of dogs as much as possible. But this is dogs and controversy at the same time. And I'll be real with it, and I'm just gonna be truthful with it. And I say it how I told y'all I answer them all, so I'm gonna answer them. I got several messages about, do I feel like there are isms in the American bully community? And there definitely is isms in the American bully community. I think you do. We've seen it. We've seen, sexism. We've seen, racism. We've seen classism. It's all kind of isms. I've seen it throughout the years, and I don't think the American bully community is any different from any other society, anything in society. As y'all notice, when people tend to come around with a lot of money, they become instant celebrities in the American bully community, whether they've done anything to deserve it. If you sell dogs for a lot of money, you're instantly a celebrity, whether you've actually made a quality animal or not. We've gotten to the point to where we change standards for people just because of who they are or what they have as far as financially. As far as, sexism goes, unfortunately, I've spoken on this before, but I do feel like that a lot of women in our community get the short end of the stick. I'm just being real. A lot of women don't get the credit that they deserve. A lot of women in this community, more so I've seen it a lot of times, to where these guys act just like anybody else in any other avenue, to where they're trying to, manipulate certain things, let people win shows, or you be my handler, or I'm gonna pick your dog, and all this shit just to try to, get in the woman's pants. Well, we've seen that. I'm not gonna deny that happens. It happens, but like I say, it's not any different from any other point in the world. I think women in the American bully community at times do have it bad, because if they want to be taken seriously and they show their dogs and they're just about showing their dogs, a lot of times they have to deal with these creepy ass guys who are acting as if they want to talk dogs, but a lot of times jumping in their inboxes about other things outside of dogs. And that's just, like I say, that's the world, but the world comes into the American bully community. So yes, there is sexism. I've seen it firsthand, and like I said, it's unfortunate, but it's there. As far as race, yeah, there's racism here, and that's another unfortunate thing. One of the questions that I got is, do I feel like that a lot of people hate me or hate on me because of my darker skin? I think some of it, I won't lie. If those who've seen it, it's been things where I've been called, the N-word multiple times. I had one thing on here, actually, where somebody was alive, where somebody just called me monkey and nigger and this and that and the other for about 20 minutes straight or some shit. And it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? It's very unfortunate that that's the way. And I've seen a lot of other people, in different positions sort of get screwed over, and you always wonder why you don't see certain things happen. But I will say it's not everybody. That's the way of the world, so I wouldn't put that in the context that that's the way everything is. But I will say that the American bully game is no different. Certain people don't want to see certain people in positions because of their color or their sex or the fact, of where they come from as far as economically. You have a good old boy system that's in place in the American bully community, where certain people are allowed certain privileges that other people aren't, for whatever the reason may be. But, it's just something that we have to deal with. I would hope that everybody decides not to feed into it and just continue to strictly make it about the dogs if you can, and that's the mission overall with the TBKC, is to to make it a fair playing field. And we're not pulling the race card or the sexism card or none of that. We're pulling a dog card, to where we want the dogs to be the first thing that's that's relevant here, the first and pretty much the only thing. We'll have women judges, we'll have judges of all different backgrounds, and our honest thing is just to make sure that we, you know, we make it strictly about the dogs, because I think throughout all of these isms, honestly, the dogs are the ones who have suffered, you know, because in our community, we don't really focus on the dogs. You know, it's always something else. You know, we've seen different people win for different reasons, and it's sort of obvious at times, but it's never been just about the dogs in years. You know, a very, very long time, it's not been about just the dogs. And until we get back to it being just the dogs, the community will always suffer. The community will always go through bad points and a lot of controversy, because we're not focusing on what we came for. You know, for those who do have those concerns, I tell you, you have to treat it like the rest of the world. You have to push forward and operate with some kind of integrity and focus on what you're here for, and just ignore those people, because in my honest opinion, the stuff will never go away. I know things that, you know, and I'm not that snitchy person, so I keep a lot of things to myself, but I know a lot of things about a lot of people in very high positions in our community that they have said. You know, I'll cut it off there, but trust me, some of the people who smile in your face daily and act like they give a damn, you know, are the same people who've had, you know, said some ugly things and moved and shaped some ugly ways. But it's not for me to expose them and get into those public battles on that type of shit. So with that being said, man, just I hope if you're a young lady, or if you're a person of color, or if you're a poor person, or whatever you feel like that you've been discriminated against and you've had some issues to where a certain breeder acted funny towards you, trust me, you're going to deal with it one way or the other. Like I said, whether it's about money, whether it's about your color, or whether it's about your sex, just keep pushing forward and doing the best that you can, because we live in a world of weak ass predators that feel like if you have any weak point, or if it's anything that they can be against you for, they will be against you. But you can't let that stop you, man. And hopefully this experience comes out to be a great experience of just having some dogs and meeting some good people who are actually about the dogs that you can get with and have, you know, have a good time. But until next time, as I always say, man, call somebody, tell them you love them. This world is an ugly place at times, and you should try to be the good in the ugly world. Much love. God bless all y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.